The papyrus, putting on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus. Liberia opens doors to Nigerian investors. US imposes new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, sparking trade conflict. Trump suspends military aid to Ukraine, pressures Kyiv to seek peace. Trump announces creation of US crypto strategic reserve. US declares English as the official language. Pope Francis in stable condition. Dolly Parton's husband dies at 82. Vietnam considers lifting two-child policy as birth rate plummets. Liberia is fast becoming a prime destination for investment as a delegation from the Global Initiative for the Advancement of Africa, GIA, led by Honorable Dr. Ginika Florence Tor, engaged top government officials and business leaders in Monrovia. Welcomed by Honorable Orator Jua, Best Man Yates, and Ambassador Queen Julie Endi, the team held discussions with Presidential Chief of Staff Sylvester Grievesby, National Security Advisor Ati, Samuel Kofi Woods, and key ministers overseeing commerce, agriculture, tourism, and youth development. They also met with investment leaders including James Strutter, Liba President Jelf Blibo, Nike President, and Fabian Lehr, Nocal CEO, exploring opportunities in agriculture, petroleum, housing, and manufacturing. In recognition of their efforts, Dr. Tor received the prestigious Golden Image Award and was honored as Swakoko, the Lioness of Liberia, along with other GIA members. With its business-friendly policies and dual currency system, USD and Liberian dollar, Liberia is positioning itself as a major investment hub in West Africa. For investment inquiries, contact GIA at +234 7018 122 564, +234 8071 160088, +234 809 454 5467. Meanwhile, the United States has officially enacted new tariffs on its top three trading partners, Mexico, Canada, and China, escalating tensions in global trade. President Donald Trump's administration implemented a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and Canada, alongside a doubling of duties on Chinese goods to 20%. The tariffs, which went into effect at 12:01 a.m. EST on Tuesday, could disrupt nearly $2.2 trillion in annual U.S. trade. Trump justified the move by accusing all three nations of failing to curb the flow of the deadly opioid fentanyl and its precursor chemicals into the U.S. China swiftly responded, announcing additional tariffs of 10 and 15% on certain U.S. imports starting March 10, as well as new export restrictions on designated U.S. entities. Canada and Mexico also vowed to retaliate, with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing immediate 25% tariffs on $20.7 billion worth of U.S. goods and the possibility of expanding them to $86.2 billion if the U.S. tariffs remain in place for 21 days. Mexico's response is expected to be unveiled later today. The trade dispute adds another layer of uncertainty to global markets and raises concern about disruptions in supply chains, particularly in the tech and agricultural sectors. Continuing, President Donald Trump has suspended military aid to Ukraine, intensifying pressure on Kyiv to engage in peace negotiations with Russia. The move, confirmed by a White House official on Monday, follows a heated public clash between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump, who has repeatedly called for an end to the conflict, stated that U.S. aid should contribute to a peaceful resolution. The president has been clear that he is focused on peace. We need our partners to be committed to that goal as well, the White House official said. The freeze affects hundreds of millions of dollars in weaponry that was set to be delivered to Ukraine, according to the New York Times. Congressional Democrats have condemned the decision, calling it dangerous and unlawful. Zelensky, in a video statement, reiterated that Ukraine seeks a just and lasting peace, but insisted that strong security guarantees are necessary. Meanwhile, European leaders are scrambling to propose a one-month truce, with discussion ongoing in London and Paris. As tension rises, concerns grow over the future of US support for Ukraine and its broader geopolitical implications. In another development, President Donald Trump has unveiled plans for a US crypto strategic reserve, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano as its core assets. The announcement was made on Truth Social, Trump's social media platform, as part of his broader push to position the US as a leader in the global digital asset market. A US crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, Trump stated. "We are making America great again in crypto." Trump first hinted at the initiative in December when he expressed support for establishing a US Bitcoin reserve. The plan aims to bolster the crypto industry and ensure the US remains competitive against global powers such as China. While details on the reserve's implementation remain scarce, the move marks a significant shift in US policy toward digital assets and could reshape the regulatory landscape for cryptocurrency. Progressively, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order designating English as the official language of the United States, a move he says will promote national unity. The order, published on Saturday, overturns a 1990s-era mandate that required federal agencies to provide assistance in multiple languages. A nationally designated language is at the core of a unified and cohesive society, the executive order states. It is long past time for English to be officially recognized as our nation's primary language. While agencies will still have discretion in offering multilingual support, the new directive removes federal requirements to accommodate non-English speakers. Critics argue that the order marginalizes immigrant communities. While supporters hail it as a step toward reinforcing American identity, the decision is expected to face legal challenges, particularly from civil rights groups advocating for language access in government services. In another news, the Vatican confirmed on Sunday, 2nd March, that Pope Francis is in stable condition and does not have a fever following a sudden respiratory episode that complicated his ongoing battle with double pneumonia. While doctors say there are no immediate threats to his health, Vatican sources caution that the 88-year-old pontiff's condition remains complex, with the risks of crisis still present. Francis suffered a severe bout of respiratory distress on Friday, accompanied by vomiting, requiring high-flow oxygen therapy. Though he was not intubated, the Pope was initially placed on a high-flow oxygen mask and has since transitioned to nasal cannulas. A Vatican update on 3rd of March on Monday morning stated that the Pope rested well overnight and continued his recovery while maintaining his daily routine, including reading newspapers and having coffee. He also participated in Holy Mass. On Sunday, Francis issued a heartfelt Angelus prayer from his hospital room, appealing for peace in conflict-ridden regions, including Ukraine, Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Myanmar, Sudan, and Kivu. He described his frailty as a blessing, calling his illness an opportunity to share in the suffering of the sick and vulnerable. As his medical team monitors his condition closely, it remains unclear how much longer Pope Francis will remain in the hospital. Furthermore, Carl Dean, the devoted husband of country music legend Dolly Parton, has passed away at the age of 82. Parton confirmed his death on Monday in a heartfelt statement shared on social media. "Carl and I spent many wonderful years together. What can't do justice to the love we shared for over 60 years? Thank you for your prayers and sympathy," she wrote. Dean, who maintained a fiercely private life despite his wife's global fame, met Parton outside a laundromat in Nashville, where she was just 18. 2 years later, they married in an intimate ceremony in Ringgold, Georgia on May 3, 1966. While Parton rose to superstardom, Dean opted to stay out of the limelight, running an asphalt paving business in Nashville. His quiet nature fueled rumors that he didn't exist. Rumors Parton often joked about. A lot of people say there's no Carl Dean, that he's just somebody I made up to keep other people off me, she quipped in a 1984 interview. Dean's influence on Parton's music was undeniable, particularly in inspiring her classic hit, Jolene. She once revealed the song was based on a real-life bank teller who developed a crush on Dean. Despite their 6-decade-long marriage, the couple never had children. Dean is survived by his siblings, Sandra and Donnie. Conclusively, Vietnam is rethinking its long-standing two-child policy as birth rates continue to decline, raising concerns about the country's future workforce and aging population. Official data shows that birth rate fell to 1.96 children per woman in 2023 and dropped further to 1.91 in 2024, both below the replacement level needed to maintain a stable population. Urban areas are seeing even lower numbers, with Ho Chi Minh City recording the lowest rate at 1.39 children per woman, while northern Han Giang province has the highest 2.69. Experts attribute the decline to delayed marriages, career priorities, and the rising cost of raising children. Deputy Health Minister Nguyen Thi Lien Hyong has called for urgent action, suggesting that penalties for having more than 2 children be removed and financial incentives introduced to encourage larger families. If birth rate keeps falling, Vietnam's golden population period will end by 2039, and we may face negative growth by 2054, warned a population expert, Lee Thi Thu. The government is exploring solutions such as improved parental leave, childcare support, and financial relief for parents, strategies that countries like Japan, South Korea have already attempted with mixed results. However, not everyone supports lifting the two-child policy. Some, like public health researcher Tran Van Min, argue that it helps control overpopulation and ensures sustainability resource allocation. The